The Clayface movie is shaping up to be one of the most unique entries in DC's new cinematic universe. With each new set photo, we're starting to get a clearer picture of what Mike Flanagan is building, and it's becoming clear that this is not just another comic book movie. This is horror. This is tragedy. And it's set against a Gotham City that looks both familiar and completely reimagined. One of the most striking things about the recent photos is how much of the film seems to take place in the public eye. Clayface isn't lurking in the shadows or fighting Batman in some abandoned warehouse. Instead, we see him surrounded by reporters, cameras, and flashing lights. He's shoved into the spotlight, literally, and that changes everything about his story. In the comics, Matt Hagen's downfall often happens in secret. His addiction to the protoplasm that gives him powers isolates him. His horror is hidden away. But here his transformation and disfigurement are unfolding for the whole city to witness. That makes his tragedy not just personal but communal. Gotham itself becomes a witness to his decay, and that public humiliation could be just as terrifying as the body horror itself. And speaking of Gotham, this film is giving us a brand new map of the city. What's interesting is that this Gotham is divided into distinct sections by bridges, each borough almost quarantined from the others. It feels more like New York, with islands cut off by waterways rather than one continuous land. Compare that to Matt Reeves' Gotham in The Batman, which was a more connected, maze-like city. Flanagan Gotham looks more fractured, more segmented, as if the city itself is divided by geography, echoing the divisions within its people. It's a subtle but powerful choice that could play directly into the themes of isolation, identity, and being cut off from society, themes that Clayface embodies perfectly. But what does all this mean for the movie itself? Well, the budget is a key factor here. This film is reportedly being made for around $40 million, which is tiny compared to your average superhero blockbuster. That tells us two things. First, we shouldn't expect endless citywide destruction or massive CGI battles. Instead, we're going to get something smaller, more personal, and more intimate. And second, it means the horror is going to lean heavily on atmosphere, practical effects, and psychological tension rather than spectacle. Think about what Flanagan did with shows like The Haunting of Hill House or Midnight Massachusetts. He doesn't need explosions or giant set pieces to terrify you. He gets under your skin with haunting imagery, powerful performances, and deeply human stories. That's what Clayface is shaping up to be. So when you combine all of this, the public spotlight on Hagen's downfall, the fractured design of Gotham, the tragic twist on his origin, and the stripped-back budget, you don't get a typical comic book villain movie. You get a horror character study. You get a tragedy in the heart of Gotham. And you get a film that could push the boundaries of what a DC movie can even be. The question now is whether audiences are ready for it. Clayface isn't the Joker, or the Riddler, or even a tragic antihero like Two-Face. He's a character defined by loss, desperation, and transformation. And if this movie does what it looks like it's trying to do, it could be the most horrifyingly human comic book movie we've ever seen. So what do you think? Is this new vision of Clayface the perfect way to bring him into the spotlight, or do you prefer the more fantastical, shape-shifting version from the comics? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more updates on the DCU's Gotham and its monsters. Oh, and we're currently on the road to 1 subscriber. Can you help me reach my goal?